I, 26, have a niece Laura, 8, through my sister Kim, 33, and another niece Amy, 6, through my brother Tom, 35. I know my siblings love their kids wholeheartedly, but when it comes to parenting they each have different styles. This comes from the way that we were all brought up by our parents who used the "because I'm the parent and you're the child, obey me without question" mindset that we all resented. Kim is the type of mother who just can't seem to say and still to the word no, while Tom will at least give an explanation as to why. While Amy is a sweet, energetic little girl, she does listen and knows to respect people's rules and boundaries. Laura does not. Laura is entitled. Laura is impatient. Laura is whiny. Laura will throw a massive tantrum if she is denied anything and will get progressively worse the longer she is denied because she knows her mom will cave eventually. I haven't watched Laura since she was 6 and it was a nightmare. She yelled, screamed, kicked me, drew on the walls and broke one of my framed pictures, all because I made her dinner instead of getting fast food. Kim did apologize for Laura but shrugged off the idea of giving out a punishment, citing that kids will be kids. Never again would I be responsible for my niece again. Amy, on the other hand, may need to be told something more than once but ultimately is a respectful child. I definitely babysat for Tom multiple times and do fun activities with Amy when I can. The coming August, before the start of school, I was planning on going with some friends to the Mouse Kingdom in Florida. Due to life events they dropped out, but I still wanted to go and asked Tom if he and his wife would be down to come with me and I'd go 50-50 on everything with them. They were delighted and we all decided to go. Obviously Kim found out and wanted to come too, but we all knew she couldn't afford it, so I thought everything was settled. Well, Laura found out, and at our family dinner she was super upset about Amy getting a surprise trip but not her. She then looked at me and said, "Auntie, you have a nice job and no kids, you can pay everything." I told her that while I may make more money than her mom, I can't pay for everyone by myself. Laura said, "Yes, you can. You had money to pay for that car." She pointed to my new car in the driveway. "You can pay for me and mommy to go." I refused and cued the tantrum. It was awful and she kept screaming why and saying that if I really loved her I'd make her happy by paying for the trip over and over. I kept refusing and she got worse before I finally snapped and yelled back that I didn't love her, that she was a mean little girl and that I didn't like being around her. That definitely shut her up for a moment, before she started to sob and cry. Kim is berating me for being so heartless and that I'm evil for favoring one niece over the other. Am I the idiot? Everyone's the idiot here. You have the right to not like your sister's parenthood and the way your niece turned out. She does sound like lots of work and I get not spending lots of time with her, but this was worst way to deal with this. It's safe way for kids to grow up with people around them, especially family loving them unconditionally. Now she probably welcomed a new trauma. You could have said many other things but you chose to say you don't love her. It's honestly brutal thing to say to a child. Your sister on the other hand should have had stopped her from saying all that, plus control the situation better. She knows nothing about being a parent and she better find out soon. You are the idiot for yelling at a kid. You are the idiot for telling a kid who loves you that you don't love them even if it's true. You're not an idiot for choosing to distance yourself from them or not vacationing with them. But you're way over the line for what you said. She's 8. That conversation could haunt her forever. You were cruel. You stooped to her level. You acted like a child yourself. You owe your niece an apology and your sister. You don't owe them love or money, but you do owe them the respect that any human deserves. Telling a child that you don't love them is cruel even if it's true. Everyone's the idiot here, except for the kids. Laura is being taught all of this. She is not doing it out of malice. Your sister is obviously an idiot parent. But you were no better. Instead of using this as an opportunity to tell the kid, calmly and politely, that spending money doesn't equal love and attempting a teachable moment, you chose to yell at an 8-year-old. I know how the title sounds, but just hear me out. I, 27, have a 6-year-old daughter with my ex-BF Landon, 28. Me and Landon broke up due to Landon coming out as gay, but anyways, over the past 5 years since we've broken up he has been on and off with multiple guys. Not that it is any of my business, but I do just wish Landon would settle down with a nice guy. Me and Landon have shared custody, so we have alternating custody with Amelia, fake name. We had a perfect arrangement where we visit Amelia at each other's house and then spend time together with her, which Amelia loved. I always came to his place when he knew I was coming, so no problem with me showing up unannounced. Landon got into a new relationship with his BF Gabe, 29, 6 months ago, and Gabe is just ruining everything we had. Landon seems to think it's just Gabe setting boundaries, but it's Gabe trying to ruin our perfect arrangements that we had with Amelia, and it's making Amelia sad as well. I never brought it up, but she brought up the fact she was sad about this. I was supposed to come over to Landon's house to see Amelia, but Landon didn't want me to come over just because it would make Gabe uncomfortable if I turned up at Landon's house, even though Gabe doesn't even live with Landon. How does me visiting my daughter during the week I don't have her make Gabe uncomfortable? But it's Landon's house, so I didn't go to his house, but I did make it clear that I didn't like this. Also, it's just 2 or sometimes 3 days out of the whole week, but this week was only going to be 2 days, though now it's only 1. We made this arrangement because we think Amelia is too young to go a whole week without one of her parents, which is why we made this. Though now he is thinking about stopping it because it makes Gabe uncomfortable. Landon ended up telling me that I should stop coming over permanently because it makes Gabe uncomfortable. He knows how Amelia would feel about this, but he doesn't care since it would make Gabe uncomfortable. I ended up asking Landon how Amelia felt about this, and he told me Amelia was crying because she wanted to see me, but also said that Amelia would soon get over it and then understand it is for the best. I left it off with calling him an idiot, but now I am wondering if I am the idiot since it is completely his house. So am I the idiot? I am very gentle with this. My own parents divorced too, but overall everyone's the idiot here. Gabe and Landon are idiots because their boundaries are too strict and too strong. You also carry some of the blame because you need to recognize that your previous arrangement is not really compatible with Landon and Gabe moving forward with their lives together. The idea of having such an amicable breakup that you can co-parent like this is great. It genuinely is. But at some point, you showing up twice a week at Landon's place starts to make you a bit of a third wheel in his life with another partner, and it's not sustainable forever. It would be a bit suffocating having your partner's ex rock up twice every second week. No idiots here. I don't think you're an idiot, but I also don't think it's unreasonable for your ex to want to move on and set boundaries so that he can be a father and have a romantic relationship. He doesn't have to let you in his house and spend time with you. As long as he is making an effort to see his daughter and take care of her regularly, there really isn't a need to have you there. Not the idiot. So Landon wants to go to your house and visit during your time, but doesn't want you to visit him because of Gabe. That sounds really unbalanced and like Gabe is trying to exert his dominance over Landon. I hope he doesn't start interfering with Amelia as well. You may want to pay attention to how Amelia is treated as Gabe becomes more involved. Would you allow a new boyfriend to tell Landon he doesn't want him at your place? Usually our instincts are pretty on point. We just need to listen to them. Go luck moving forward. I hope Amelia adjusts to these changes. My 26 husband, Jay, 34, is French, but we live in Canada. When our daughter, 5, was born, I made it clear to Jay that I wanted her to be fluent in French and grow up knowing both cultures, even though Jay was against it at first, saying it would confuse her to be taught 2 languages. With this, I also started learning French and took night classes after work. I am currently 5 months pregnant with our second child and working extra hours as Jay has been trying out SAHP. I of course wanted to support Jay, which meant dropping out of the French classes I was taking. I have never been good at learning languages, and find it really hard for me to grasp. So at this point in time, although I am able to hold a reasonable conversation in French, I am nowhere near the level my daughter is at, let alone Jay, who's fluent. Over the past year, Jay has taken it upon himself to act as though French is the main language spoken in our household. At dinner time, watching movies, which he refuses to put on subtitles for, and absolutely everything else. I was able to live with it, up until I fell pregnant. Now I am constantly feeling depressed and worthless over it. After coming home from a long day at work, it hurts to hear my daughter and husband talking in French, knowing it's going to be another night of not really knowing what's going on, And also knowing that this is causing my daughter and I to grow more distant. I brought this up with Jay a couple weeks ago, and asked if he could try speaking more English while I'm not taking my French classes. Jay got upset and said that I'm the one who insisted that our daughter should learn French, but he reluctantly agreed. However, he hasn't changed at all and it almost feels like he's trying even harder to only speak in French now. I came home from work last night after having the most stressful day, to find Jay had bought 10 new books in French for our daughter. I was incredibly upset, as I love reading with her and I know that when it'll come to choosing the book she wants to read at night, she'll pick her new French ones. I instantly broke down crying. I often do most nights in our bathroom, but this is the first time I've cried about the language barrier in our household in front of Jay. I told Jay that whilst I am pregnant and working long hours to support our family, I don't want him speaking French to our daughter in front of me. I said that he was being unfair and making me feel like crap for not being able to have conversations with the both of them, especially when I don't have the time right now to be taking French classes. He replied back saying how I've had 5 years to learn the language and he and our daughter shouldn't have to suffer because I still haven't learnt enough to keep up in a conversation with them, and that I was being an idiot for asking him to do such a thing. Am I the idiot? Soft, you are the idiot. I'm all about children learning more than one language. It's a great asset to have. But try looking at this from a different angle. You said you have a hard time learning a new language, which is true. Learning a new language is never easy. But the more your daughter and husband converse in French, you'll be able to start picking it up by assimilating it bit by bit. Also, you said your husband bought books for your daughter in French. Why don't you sit in while they read it out loud? Basically, your home life is your course. You have enough people to practice with and become familiar. Cease it. Not the idiot. When you said you wanted your daughter to learn French also, you did not mean only French. He can speak to her in French when you aren't around. And when 3 of you are together, you can speak in English so that way she gets to learn both of these languages effectively. He's making her learn only French now and he's the idiot for not realizing how it's affecting your relationship with your daughter. You're also 5 months pregnant. Shame on him for not being more considerate of your very valid feelings. You are in no way wrong, OP. Not the idiot. You feel left out because you're being left out. When he married you, he knew English was your main language. You may have offered to learn French, but got sidetracked. That's no reason to shut you out. He can have practice sessions with your daughter while not speaking it with her all of the rest of the time, and she'd still be learning it. It's not suffering. What the hell? To speak English to include a loved one in the conversation, especially since he's a stay-at-home dad and it's summer vacation. What a jerk he is. My 31 husband, 30, is currently not working due to some medical issues. He's getting disability benefits and assistance, but it doesn't make up for losing his income, so I've had to start working more hours. Because of that, he was supposed to be taking care of the cooking and cleaning. I help out on my days off. I'd get home and dinner wouldn't be made. Wouldn't get my lunch pack from my car. Or dishes not put away. Or laundry not folded. Trash not taken out. Things not dusted. Whenever I brought this up to him, he told me that he did clean during the day and take care of the house and our backyard and dog, or my kids when it's my week to have them. I'd show him everything not done and again ask him what he's doing all day that things aren't getting done. I do take his health into consideration and he's good about letting me know when he's having a bad day health-wise, but I believed he was using it as an excuse. One of my co-workers suggested I hide nanny cams in the house, so I can get video proof of him not holding up our arrangement, because that's what she did with her kids when they lied about doing their chores. So that's what I did. I would check the feed through the day at work and I did that for 3 weeks. I was surprised to see that most days he was active and doing things around the house. It looked like he'd do a big clean on 1 or 2 rooms each day and do touch-ups in other places. He did miss some things or not take a lot of time on them. I saw him doing stuff like changing light bulbs and moving furniture to clean behind and under it and rearranging closets and playing with my kids when they were there. I figured I saw enough and decided to talk to my husband. I told him that I put up the cams and was watching to see what he did all day and was pleased to see he was doing stuff and admitted I had been wrong. He wasn't happy with me and told me I had a big problem with always noticing what people don't do instead of what they do, and he was upset that I'd spy on him like that. I told him I was sorry. I just wanted to put an end to us arguing about what he did all day. Ever since, he's made a point to show me when he does something. I don't think what I did was all that bad. I thought it was a solution to an issue we were having. Am I the idiot? Of course you are the idiot. Your poor husband is sick. He's so sick he can't work and has qualified for disability assistance, and yet you're treating him like some kind of unpaid maid. Poor soul is never going to get well if you're making him move furniture and run out to the car for your lunch bag and run around after your children. Abs, then you have the nerve to spy on him and rub salt into the wound by giving him a pat on the head and telling him he's a good boy. You are the idiot. You didn't think he was doing anything because a few minor things were left each day. And he wouldn't get your lunchbox from your car. You can't bring in your own lunchbox from the car. Or put some dishes away. You spied on your husband to try to catch him doing something wrong, and when that failed, you not only confessed your deception to him, you praised him as if what you did was okay. In addition, he has health problems. Enough health problems that he is on disability. He isn't going to spotlessly clean the house every day. He needs to be focused on his health. Chores are fine, but he isn't home because he wants to be a homemaker and a stay-at-home step-parent. Are you your husband's boss? His mommy? No. Then you have no business putting him under video surveillance, let alone clandestine video surveillance. If the shoe were on the other foot, and you were home all day, would you really feel okay with your husband hiding cameras around the house to spy on you? As to certain things allegedly not getting done, do you get to tell him what to do and when to do it? No, because you're not his mommy and you're not his boss. Do you know what you are? You are the idiot.